All right, I'm gonna tell you guys the truths about sales and what most people probably aren't gonna tell you. I've been a SDR for about 10 and a half months, and what that is a sales development representative. Basically meaning I cold called companies and B2B businesses to get their interest in hopping on a 20 to 30-minute demo with us to visually showcase our product and help them better understand what we do and how we have the solution basically to their problems. So I was basically like the first point of contact to get that sale, to get their interest and really just showcase value. I did that for about, again, 10 and a half months cold calling. I've connected over 10,000 dials. And here are the hard truths about sales that if you really want to get into sales, I highly recommend you watching this video, sending it to a friend, and really understanding the dynamics to see if you want to pursue this career, this industry, or if you want to go elsewhere. What I would say is sales is not for everybody. Sales is very demanding. It's very hard. It's uncertain. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of pressure. But if we can look at the pros, it's probably the best thing for you because it makes you uncomfortable, which is needed for growth. It puts your back against the wall where you need to show up not every single month, but every single working day. You need to be getting a little bit better. You need to be fucking pushing, right? So here are the hard truths. When it comes to cold calling, you're gonna be told more no's than yeses. You're gonna get more no's than yeses. There are gonna be so many days where the last thing you wanna do is cold call. There's gonna be so many days where you're just getting tired and sick of the word no because you hear it so often. There's gonna be days when you don't get a book demo, or you don't get a sale, or you don't see some sort of success. That's a lot of it. But it's gonna require so much of you that through you showing up to work and just trying to get a little bit better, you're gonna find yourself getting a little bit better, right? And I say this, I would not be the man who I am today if it wasn't for cold calling, if it wasn't for sales, because it pushed me to another standard that now I hold myself to, right? I'm a very competitive person. And when I first started this, there was only a few SDRs. It was me and another individual. Now there's a team of 10 plus SDRs. I'm the SDR manager now, managing all 10 of them. But when I first started, I told myself, no matter what, I'm going to be the best. No matter what experience they have, where they came from, if they were a SDR prior somewhere else, I don't care. I was gonna put the work in. So it's gonna require for you to put in so much work and damn near be obsessed, right? You're gonna have metrics in place and quotas that you have to hit every single month for you to get paid out, for you to get compensated. And that's the difference between you having enough money for rent or not. If you hit your quota, for a lot of people, right? So it's very hard. You're gonna have to be on edge damn near every single day. And the hardest thing about it that I've realized when it comes to sales is once the month ends, and say you had a great month, say you did the best month you've ever done in company history, right? Let's just say that. It starts over on the first day of the month. So none of that matters anymore, right? We're back at square one. What are you gonna do to continue to have success month after month after month? It's taxing, it's draining, it's a lot, but what's gonna fuel you? It could be the money, it could be the success, it could be the recognition, it could be even the process. But you have to understand what it is that's gonna fuel you, because not many people can stick in this industry of sales. It's such a hard industry and niche, sales, because only the strong survive. Only the mentally strong survive. And every single rep on my team, I tell them, you can know the script, you can know the product, you can be a great person, you can have great personable skills, but it's all in here. If you don't even have a strong mindset, you're gonna fail sooner or later, because life throws curveballs at you. People are not gonna sign that you thought were gonna sign. You're gonna be in many case scenarios where you're like, shoot, am I gonna hit my quota this month? It's very taxing. So if your mindset's not strong and not on point and not an ally of yours, One day it's gonna betray you because you're gonna have a negative thought. You're gonna have rejection that just backtracks you all the way. You're gonna have doubt that creeps up if you don't get that sale that you thought you were going to get. So you have to make sure if you wanna be successful in sales, that your mindset is on point. And this is why I tell my team to invest into themselves. I am obsessed with personal development because it's gonna help you be successful when it comes to sales. If you're fit, if you work out, if you're honest, if you read books, if you're a man or woman of their word, that's gonna correlate to sales. That's gonna correlate to every other aspect of your life. If the more work you are willing to put into yourself, the more success you'll have in other aspects of your life, right? You'll never, never, never be successful if you only put all your time and effort into your job. You have to expand and be so universal. You have to be multidimensional. A lot of people don't like sales because most people don't have the self-confidence and even the self-assurance to like bet on themselves. You have to be willing to bet on yourselves when it comes to sales. You have to be willing to bet on yourself and be like, you know what? I'm gonna get this sale. I'm gonna make this dial and book this call. I'm gonna get this referral out of this company and get another sale out of it, right? You have to be willing to bet on yourself. Like bet, like have the most self-confidence in yourself. I'm gonna make this happen. Right? It might not be this sale. I might have to reach 10 no's in order to get the next sale, but I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to go through 12 no's in order to get that next sale. So you just have to be willing to bet on yourself, even when you're having a horrible month. One of the best advice I gotten from someone here at the company told me when I first started as an SDR was like, hey, you're gonna have great months and you're gonna have not so great months, right? But if you can stay constant and just like riding that medium, not getting in, just riding like that middle wave, not getting too high and not getting too low, that's gonna allow you just to be successful, right? Because sales is a roller coaster. You're gonna have some days where you maybe get 3 sales or book 3 demos, and then you're gonna have other days where you can't get shit, right? And that's why I'm such a big advocate for having your mind on point. Because your mind is gonna help you push through those hard times. Your mind is gonna help you continue just to push forward and believe in yourself even more when you are having success, right? It's all mindset. If you could just grow this aspect, I'm telling you guys, you'll be successful in sales. But most people aren't willing to put in the work into themselves to bet on themselves when it comes to sales, right? Because no one else is gonna bet on you. Right? You can talk and say you're gonna do this or not, you're gonna be the best sales rep, you're gonna get the most sales, but it all comes to results. What are you doing month after month? Are you producing or are you not producing? And if you're not producing, you're gonna get fired, you're gonna get let go, right? Because they're gonna bring someone else in who wants it more, who's willing to put in the work and who is willing to get the results at any cost. Sales is cutthroat. It's cutthroat as fuck. You're either getting the results or you're not. There's no in between. It's either you're good or you're not. Most people are not gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. So you're gonna have to put the work in. On the weekends, you're gonna have to be in the office, studying the script, studying the product, understanding people's pain points. So when you do get those objections, you're on it. You're quick to it. You get those sales. It's based off results. And most people want the benefit of the doubt when it comes to sales. You're either producing or you're not. You're either finding a way or you're pointing and blaming and making excuses. Sales there's no gray area. It's either it's black and white. You're either getting the sale or you're not. You have to look at it from this aspect. If you're willing to bet on yourselves and look at it from hindsight, like, okay, I don't know nothing about sales, or this is gonna be hard, or this is gonna challenge me, or I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be uncomfortable most of the time. But in hindsight, if I can look at this and be like, this is gonna help me become a better person. This is gonna help me level up, so when I do wanna become a CEO or a manager or anything, I'm ready for that next step and all the responsibility that comes with it, because I had to go through all these steps of trial and error and failure and falling face first, but still getting up and still willing to try. That's what your mind has to be when you get into sales. How it's gonna help me and develop my skill set, me as a person, my mindset, and everything about myself to level up. That's why most people aren't willing to jump into the game of sales, because they're not willing to invest in and bet on themselves. But when you are willing to jump into the arena of sales and bet on yourselves and just have this mindset, this is gonna help me grow, you are gonna develop into that better version of yourself, because that's what is required. There's a new set of standards when it comes to you going into sales that you didn't even know you could get to that standard of yourself. But that's the beauty of sales. right? It's hard, it's uncertain, there's gonna be a lot of doubt, there's gonna be a lot of stress, there's gonna be a lot of fear, it's gonna require a lot of work. But the person you're gonna build and mold yourself into over the years or over the months or however long you stay in sales, it's just gonna help you become a better person. The average person can't make cold calls. The average person can't ask for a sale. The average person can't handle rejection. But you can if you step into the arena of sales. So understand life's gonna get a little bit easier. I'm not saying life's easy, but it's gonna get a little bit better because you're gonna be a lot stronger. You have to understand, sales has helped me transform myself so much. Like, I used to suck at talking. I used to stutter. I used to suck when it comes to girls. I used to suck when it comes to talking to people and being this extrovert. But sales transformed me into this version now, right? I'll tell you guys this funny story about how cold calling helped me, not care about rejection. I saw this pretty girl at church, maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. The first time I ever went to this particular church with a friend, and she was sitting in front of me. And the pastor was like, hey, introduce yourself to 1 or 2 people, take 30 seconds of your time, introduce yourself to 1 or 2 people. I looked right at her. I was like, how you doing? Introduced myself. I was like, I like your hat. Sexy girl, right? Introduced myself to someone else, and I was like, that girl is good looking, right? Just went about it, and then I saw her the following Sunday, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, that girl is good looking, right? But I didn't have the balls and guts to go up to her and introduce myself again. This is when I first started cold calling, right? And I saw her one more time, and I was like, I gotta go up to her. I gotta introduce myself again. I gotta get to know her, right? But I didn't have the balls and guts to go up and talk to her. And again, this is when I first started cold calling. And then I told myself, okay, Brandon, the next time you see that girl, you're gonna have to go up to her. Make sure you go up to that girl. Make sure you get a number. Make sure you introduce yourself. Make sure you just at least attempt. She hadn't been to church in about 4 months. And every single Sunday I was looking for her. Where is she? Where is Shawty, right? Where is Shawty? And 4 or 5 months passed without me seeing her, and I was like, damn, I think I lost my opportunity. Damn, right? Fast forward, I started getting better with cold calling. I started facing more objection. I started having a relationship with rejection as far as like my mindset. I need to understand what a no is to better understand how to get to that yes, right? So I was getting familiar and just comfortable with rejection, getting told no 10 times in a single day and not allowing it to affect my mood or, anything about my day. So fast forward 5 months, I finally see her. And I'm like, oh gosh, yeah. I finally see her, right? She's like a few rows ahead of me. And I show up to church late, but it's the thought that counts, right? I'm still in church. And I see her, and she's like grabbing all her stuff midway through the service. And she picks up all her stuff and she walks out. And I was like, this girl is leaving. She's cutting, like she grabbed all her stuff, right? So I waited like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm listening to the service and I'm like, all right, B, go chase her. I get up, I walk out of the service, right? And I walk outside the building. She is halfway across the parking lot, probably 50 yards away from me. And I was like, it's do or die, right? Get you. I used to be scared of talking to girls, all of that, rejection, all of that. But since I was cold calling, I was getting better with rejection. So I call her, excuse me, like yell it, because she's like 50 yards away. I run after her like a light jog, right? Trying to look, not crazy after running, but I was like, light jog. When I'm like 5 yards away from her, I'm like, damn, girl, you have me running after you, right? I was like, listen, I'm gonna be very straight up and honest with you. I find you very attractive. I've seen you here a few times, and I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Brandon Wilson. I was like, are you single? She's like, yeah, I'm single. I was like, whoa, like, how long you been coming here? She was like, oh, I've been coming here for a little, like, my family lives out here. I live in LA, this and that. I was like, I'd be mad if I didn't get your information. Like, can I get your number? And she's like, you can get my Instagram. I was like, all right, that's better than nothing, right? We talked a little bit more, but I need you guys to understand the old version of myself would have never ran after a girl. Not because my pride or ego is in the way, because I didn't have the balls and the guts to go chase after a girl and yell her name or yell for her attention. And to have enough guts to even go up to her, let alone run after her. But I'm saying cold calling and rejection and sales helped me not care about getting rejected when it comes to girls, or not care when I want to ask for a sale or a promotion and I get rejected, because I deal with rejection on a daily basis, right? That's what sales has helped me learn. Life's all about rejection, all about failure, all about trial and error. But are you willing to get up after those failures and learn from those failures to continue to take steps forward to level up, right? So sales is hard. It's very cutthroat. It's not for most people. But if you're willing to bet on yourself, if you're willing to take time into your craft and build and mold yourself into this figure that can be successful, I'm telling you, life is going to work out in your favor. Bet on yourself. Invest into yourself. Believe in yourself. Make sure your mind's on the same team as yourself, and everything will start to come to fruition. That's the hard truth about sales. That is really the hard truth about sales. But I'm telling you guys, if you're willing to take on this route and really just go down this path, opportunities are going to open up. You're going to start to see your true potential, who that better version of yourself is, and make more money and develop this identity that you can be successful. That number one rep in the company can be you, or that a certain amount of money per month you can achieve, or that certain car you can drive, right? But it starts with taking on the challenge of being uncomfortable and facing those fears and building your weaknesses and facing rejection and running towards it. That's what sales is all about. So hopefully you guys got some gems out of this video, and hopefully you guys want to take sales on. Hopefully you want to take sales head on and really just see your true potential and how much you can really earn, become, and build yourself into. I appreciate all you guys. Hopefully you guys learned a lot in this video. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.